Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe SI Talk und ich bin bei TerraX Resources, weil ich an die Company glaube und das heißt schon einiges, weil ich bin auch Aktionär, Conflict of Interest, muss ich auch gleich einmal sagen, und ich warte immer, wann ist der richtige Zeitpunkt, diese Company zu kaufen. Der Grund ist, wenn man jetzt an den neuen Goldboom glaubt, dann werden wir gerade solche Companies, ich habe es auch vor kurzem in einem normalen SI gesagt, wie TerraX ist, mit einer Übernahme zu rechnen haben. Denn die sitzen auf einem ganzen District, man braucht sich nur die Landkarte anschauen, auf der Webseite haben sie ein ganz interessantes Bild, was sie in den letzten Jahren gekauft haben. Und ich warte quasi nur so an, wann ist der nächste Punkt, wo ich kaufen kann. Ich habe eine Grundposition, aber ich möchte noch weitere Aktien kaufen. Und der Aktienkurs ist alles andere als befriedigend. Wir sind sehr weit unten und das ist auch der Grund, warum ich mir heute mit dem David Suda, dem CEO der Company, treffe. David, thank you to have time. I said in my German introduction, I have a conflict of interest. I'm a shareholder.
We like that conflict.
Normally I must say yes, me too, but at the moment when I look at the share price, it's not so the nicest part. And now I can buy twice of the shares of what I bought in the past with this low share price. And this brings me exactly to the point. I'm looking for a buying opportunity. Then I'm a strong believer in this new gold bull market up to 22, 23, and I say TerraX is for me a perfect example that this kind of company will bought out in this bull market, in the next bull market, what coming up 2022 up to 23 or something. Then you have a district play. You have a very good picture on your website. What the company doing when they acquire first part, I think 2013, and then what you are acquiring in up to 2018 or 19 or something, and how you expand the size of the property. So, but this brings me to a point. The share price, when I look at the share price, it's terrible. You really you don't get any advantage of this higher gold price. We see no positive reaction. What is the reason why the share price is not reacting on this gold boom?
It's a question that we've been asked and we ask ourselves. And as a management team, you certainly want to bring leverage to the gold price. Having come from the career that I had in equity capital markets, the market has different phases within cycles, and we fully expected to see pressure on the stock as the gold price rose. The space in general for juniors has been beleaguered and continues to be, despite the rising gold price. I think most of the share appreciation we've seen upcapped from us. The mid-tiers and the seniors have seen some love, but really we've seen the start of a bull market in the commodity price and not for the equities. So we're not here to make excuses. We've also done a tremendous amount of work to put the company's focus on track to delivering a resource.
I think this is
full stop.
Yeah.
And that's what people are waiting for. So, in the span of a year that I've been involved with the company, we went through the process of identifying the targets that we need, where we can deliver a resource, and then we raised money at the end of the summer, at the beginning of the summer, end of the spring, and our goal was to raise enough money to go out and to start to define the areas, the potential, the opportunity to put that resource out. With the size of program that we had, I think we had a great success. And over the course of that period of time, if you look at not the share price but the volume that the stock has traded, there's been a very significant increase. And part of that increase has been that there are shareholders in many companies, not just TerraX, who have been waiting for liquidity since 2017 or back in 2015 and 2013. where we've had various false starts in the capital markets as it relates to resource in general, not just mining stocks. So when it comes to gold, we've seen a run up in the gold price for sure. And then, when that run up came, as we started to generate positive interest, we started to generate buying in the market. We saw a pretty decent share price at the end of July. We also saw some people take the opportunity to finally make their exits. Regardless of what's coming, they're not interested. I mean, the market is buying and selling at the end of the day. And so we expected there to be pressure as we created liquidity for people to exit. Personally, I want to see a higher share price because it allows us to have a better cost of capital when we have to raise money in order to drill. I also want to see the new people that we've brought into the story have an access point that is going to make them money. So it's a double-edged sword. Certainly we have now on the horizon a list of catalysts that I think are going to see, this share price appreciate. If any of the viewers are wondering, where the selling came from or if it's done, we've done a tremendous amount of work to clear out 2 large blocks. One we did just about 3 or 4 weeks ago, 2 million shares traded. It was the last piece from a larger seller. And then just last Friday, same thing again. And you'll see that the stock behaved quite well on the back of that print. So as we churn through, a capital structure that is tired, and I don't mean just with respect to TerraX, but also a lot of the people that have invested in companies like TerraX have several of these types of companies in their portfolios. We've effectively created liquidity for those people to exit, and we've given a new opportunity and a new starting point for those who are just coming in now. And so, to your point, I would suggest that TerraX is undervalued. The opportunity is in the selling that's happened. Here we are on the brink of a fall where we've got catalysts coming on the corporate front. I think we've got a drill program slated for the winter, which is ultimately designed to be far more substantial than what we did this summer. This summer's program will just identify to people what the opportunity is if we actually go there and hit these targets with significant meterage.
Do you have enough money to do this winter program, or you need a financing between?
We need to finance for that program.
And is this new program, winter program, also designed that in the end a resource calculation coming up?
Yeah, of course, that's our goal. That's what we marketed last year. We haven't stepped away from that goal. The primary obstacle in any company that does exploration is always financing and financing at prices that are appropriate to the market and keeping in mind dilution and protecting shareholder value. So I think from where I sit right now, knowing what we have available to us, the levers that we can pull on, we are finally at the point where I think there's a mix of levers to pull on where we can get the right amount of money to drill this properly and do it in an environment with a team that's going to see an appreciating share price.
The winter program, how large it should be from meter size and capital size?
It's certainly going to be more than the 6,000 or 7,000 meters that we drilled. I think we're talking in the order of twice or 3 times that. We have a very good idea of where to go and where we need to add ounces to get to numbers that are going to be attractive to the market for sure. But the kiss of death for CEOs is to say we're going to drill 40 and you drill 30, or you say we're going to drill 20 and you drill 50. We're going to do what needs to get done. That's the most important thing. That's the message to everybody out there, is we're entering a completely different situation than we were in last year. Last year I went around Europe and marketed during $1,200 gold. There was no interest in the space. Relatively speaking, This is the exact opposite of that. We're seeing, higher gold prices, and whether it's $14.25 or $15.25, it doesn't really matter. The reality is that people are coming back to the space in droves. All the big names, whether they're gold bugs or they're actually generalists who have never bought gold before, are standing and speaking loudly about the fact that we're coming into a bull market. So that's going to completely change our access to capital and will certainly put us in a much better position to execute.
Coming to the summer program, the first portion of the drill results, Sam Otto, you coming out 2 weeks ago or something. What is exactly what you expected from Sam Otto?
So Sam Otto was a success on all 6 holes that were drilled there. We drilled an extension to the south of Sam Otto Main. Effectively, we extended the gold-bearing structure by 650 meters. All told, if any of the viewers have access to our corporate presentation, you can see that we've extended the strike length at Sam Otto to roughly 2 kilometers, and there's potential to take it further south again with our next program. We did only drill 6 holes there. Every hole hit gold mineralization, and for a zone like that, that's exactly what we were looking for. We have some more holes pending there that we went back and drilled, and we're excited to see the results from those as well.
Do you drill in the summertime only, Sam Otto, or other areas too?
We drilled at Christorum as well. We drilled roughly the equal number of meters at Christorum as we did at Sam Otto, and those holes have not come back from assay yet.
Mm-hmm. So that's mean in the next few weeks we will see then the results from this drill.
Certainly.
Yeah. And when you can have it back, then you can have also better ideas what you can plan in the winter for the winter time.
That's right. These programs really were designed for us to go out and show the potential of these targets when we have access to capital, or we can hit them with serious meters, because that way it'll give the market the idea that there's gold there, we just need to identify it.
So to summarize this, you have some big sellers in the stock. That's one of the reasons why the share price.
It's the primary reason. The sellers started on the last day of the Sprott conference at the end of July. And if you take a look at the stock price, it went from 41 cents down to 30 cents or whatever, even below that.
And this is not only a problem of TerraX, there are many of the other companies have the same problem, the exploration companies. Production companies are different stories, they get an advantage from this higher gold price.
That's right. I mean, and our management team, has by and large done a great job by bringing new attention to the story, by providing, tabling an opportunity here. And, in part, what that does is it becomes the first thing people sell in a book of things that they've been stuck with for a long time. I always I have to look at the bright side. The future for gold is obviously looking much better and brighter than it has. And for me to be able to say that our volume has increased dramatically, for every one of those shares that was sold, somebody new bought a share, and those are the people who are going to support this thing going forward.
And in general, we must say it's always the first phase when you're coming in the new bull market that the exploration company not really react, but the production company is going up first, then they get the direct advantage. Every dollar what the gold price is going higher, they get more revenues and hopefully more
That's exactly
profit.
right.
And that's also understandable that some investors, they invest in this area, that they sell the exploration stock and go into production companies. And in this phase 2 and phase 3 of the new gold cycle, it's coming back then from the production company and going back to exploration.
Yeah, you put it perfectly. And what I'm looking for when people ask me when are we going to see exploration and developers see a lift in the market, my answer is I'm waiting to see some of the major producers find leverage to this gold price. So actually report a significant bump to their cash flows and to their earnings. Then the market is going to pay them a multiple for that increase. And once they do, and they become a little bit more flush with cash, that's going to give them the opportunity to go out and to replace their reserves that they so badly need to replace. That's where TerraX lives. that's what the opportunity is. It's not far off. I'm talking 1 or 2 quarters of decent results from these companies, and there will be action.
And this should be then. Today is the last day in this quarter. That's mean. And this quarter, I would say rough $120, $140 in average for this quarter, the production company getting a better gold price. So that's mean the cash flow should be increased dramatically in this quarter.
I would think so. I'm not operating a major gold company, but
but it
stands to reason.
Yeah, it should be that we get a better environmental for all the stocks, and for what you are and what in your control is, the market is not in your control. What you can do is you developed or you take the next steps for your own project. So that's mean you drill now extension of Sam Otto, new results coming out. Then you will start with a Winterprogramm, much larger one than the Sommerprogramms, and in the end a resource calculation should coming up. And then from this resource calculation, the next drill phase and so on. But the major goal is, to summarize too, is also that some production companies coming in 1, 2, 3, hopefully years and buy out your company. Is this still the major goal of your company?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we want somebody to recognize the fact that this is a camp. This is a major gold camp. You know, it's the length. The main break on our property is roughly the same length as the Porcupine break in Timmins. You know, it's about 70 kilometers. That can't produce 70 million ounces. We don't know what ours is going to produce, but we certainly, you know, want people to recognize that there is a significant opportunity there right next to town. You know, on trend with past producing mines. I mean, it has all the hallmarks of a success. So it's our job to deliver that, you know, the prospect of that opportunity to the market. And that's what I keep doing. You know, on the technical side, you know, we'll continue to advance the project. The gold is there. You know, on the side of showing people the potential, you know, we're going to keep doing that. And a bit of a market tailwind and a gold price tailwind is certainly going to help us do that. So I look forward to it. It's been a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge, and so is the rest of our team. And I think our viewers can look forward to several pieces of very interesting and exciting news flow coming up in the near term.
Perfect. David, I think this was a great update. Ja, Update TerraX. Ich habe es vorher schon im Intro gesagt, der Aktienkurs kann nicht befriedigend sein. Wir sind da jetzt runtergegangen, ja doch auf 30 Cent rundherum. Und er hat auch das erklärt, warum es ist. Sie haben 2 große Verkäufer drinnen gehabt. Der eine hat Ende Juli schon angefangen zu verkaufen, den haben sie dann vor ein paar Wochen einen Block-Trade organisiert gehabt, der dann 2 Millionen Stücke gehandelt worden ist. Der hat allerdings deutlich mehr gehabt. Und einen anderen haben sie gehabt, der reingekauft hat, und letzten Freitag haben sie da den letzten Block gecleant sozusagen, und damit ist das eigentlich, sollte das erledigt sein, zumindest von diesen 2 Sellers. Dann haben wir sehr viel über den Markt gesprochen, und genau das ist, also kurz zusammengefasst ist, im Anfang eines Bullmarktes ist es immer so, dass die Produktionscompanies laufen, weil die einen direkten Effekt haben von einem höheren Goldpreis. Heute ist der letzte Tag in diesem Quartal, und das heißt, dass da quasi alleine in diesem Quartal ungefähr $120 bis $140 die Companies mehr verdienen hätten sollen. Und das wird dann dementsprechend auch den Cashflow bringen. Er sagt selber, wir brauchen ein paar Cashflow, ein paar Quartale, wo die Companies richtig gut Geld verdienen, damit der Markt darauf reagiert und sagt, wow, die haben auf einmal viel besseres KCV, KGV, und die fangen dann auch an, neue andere Companies zu kaufen, damit sie ihre sozusagen Reserven updaten können. Und TerraX ist da in einer super Position, weil die meines Erachtens einen Distrikt haben. Ich habe das schon mehrmals erklärt, sie haben einen ganzen Distrikt sich akquiriert die letzten Jahre, und da gibt es auch 2 große alte Minen, die ich glaube um die 20 Millionen oder sowas produziert haben, Gold, aber in diesem ganzen Distrikt ist noch viel, viel, viel mehr, und das ist genau das, was einer großer dann kriegt, wenn er die Company kauft. Aber davor müssen Sie selber die Hausaufgaben machen. Sie haben ein Sommerprogramm gehabt, da haben Sie Sam Otto erweitert um 650 Meter. Das ist natürlich nur das erste Programm, aber jedes Board hoch hat gehittet. Ich habe mir die Zahlen angeschaut, das waren, glaube ich, runtergegangen bis 150 Meter. I think Sam Otto was only deep 150 meters oder so. Waren nur bis 150 Meter tief, haben schöne Intersektionen gehabt mit 20, 25 Meter von diesen 150 Meter waren quasi mit Gold bedeckt oder Gold haben beinhaltet und das ist ein perfektes Open-Pit-Szenario quasi. Und das ist, da wird noch viel mehr kommen. Es kommen nun nächste Zeit andere Bohrergebnisse raus und im Winter soll dann ein deutlich größeres Bohrprogramm stattfinden. Ja, das ist eigentlich genau dort, wo die Richtung hingeht und am Ende sollte natürlich auch Ressourcenschätzung sein. Das kann natürlich nur die erste sein, aber dann sieht man ungefähr, was die wirklich haben und das wird dann natürlich auch für einen Major dann interessant, wenn man dort wirklich von hoffentlich einer substanziellen Größe von diesen Ressourcen spricht. Ja, für mich ist eine Frage, wann kaufe ich da die Aktien zu, meine zweite Portion. Denn eins ist klar, wenn er sagt, am Freitag haben sie die letzte Position gecleant, dann stellt sich natürlich die Frage, wie schnell kann man kaufen oder ist nicht jetzt ein guter Zeitpunkt zu kaufen. Sie werden es am Ende meiner Woche, dann nächste Woche erfahren, ob ich dazu gekauft habe oder nicht, aber schauen Sie, ich werde sicher nicht vor Ihnen kaufen, das heißt, zuerst muss das Video rausgehen und dann kann ich erst kaufen. Das war's von TerraX, Vancouver, 30. September 2019. Tschüss und Baba. Thank you.
Thank you.